They have sex offenses. So these people, Don and his son, and like his stepsister said, we don't know, allegedly, that he's used to such sex offenses. So if that was what was going on, obviously they're going to give law enforcement the wrong description. They did something to Summer, allegedly, because everything is pointing out as foul play. There wasn't abduction. Who would be dumb enough to go to that place and take a risk and abduct a little girl with her 4 brothers and a mother in the house and a father, and with all, sorry to say, all these up to no good people living in Ben Hill area who are all dangerous criminals like Fred Hill shooting people on the throat? Guys, let's think. Which criminal is going to be so dumb to abduct a child from an isolated property up in the hill where it is almost no man's land? Abductions do happen, but I believe abductions can happen when it's foul play and that the family was involved. Why did Tennessee Bureau of Investigations ask Don who he owed money to, and could somebody have taken Summer for debts? The good thing is it wasn't law enforcement who told us that. It was Don who told us in the behavior panel. Sheriff Lonnie Lawson has said, even after hearing Jody Sue is BS, he said no. The screams that Jody Sue Brown heard didn't exist. It wasn't related to this case. Basically, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson is a bit like he has to be professional and he can't say that. Jody Sue, let me put it out for you. Allegedly, Sheriff Ronnie Lawson means that the voices you heard was in your head, or you are making it up, so come clean. Your property and Candus's property is not that close to each other. David Dobson told us that he couldn't hear or couldn't see anything. The closest property is far away. Guys, you can watch David Dobson's interview in The Unmasked. Another thing that was very interesting that David Dobson said is when he came up to the property, Summer's brothers told him that the door in the basement was locked. I repeat, it was locked. Children, like working as a therapist with children, I've noticed that children may not remember something clearly if you ask them maybe 10 days from now, 2 weeks from now. But David Dobson was the first person on the scene, guys, who saw the wells, and Robin. David Dobson said, when I came there, remember, he said that he came there first. Robin came there later, I know that. So David Dobson said, I asked the children and they said the basement door was locked. And then Candus started with the lies in Chris's interview when she's showing the property. As soon as she opens the back door, I could see that she was lying when she said, oh, I can't remember if the basement door was opened or closed. The boys just leave it open at times and all. I believe Jose, God rest his soul, when Jose said that there was a blue sofa covering the basement door. That door was never open. That's number one, Jose. God bless his soul. Number two, Allyson has lived in the house and she said that door was always locked. Then we hear number three, David Dobson saying that the boys, all three boys told him, the boys or one of the boys told him that the door was locked. They live in the house, so they know that. For somebody to have been bold enough to come in broad daylight, guys, and abduct a child when her three brothers, her grandmother, her mother and father are around, nobody would take that dumb risk, believe me. For them to come and abduct Summer, now that we know that the door was locked according to 4 people, that means the only way they could have come into the house is through the main door. And do not forget the 3 boys are sitting there. So why would an abductor just come, wait for the right moment, and then pass the boys silently, which they can't avoid, without making noises? The boys would see them, because we could see where the boys were allegedly supposed to be sitting and watching TV and sleeping at the same time, according to Candus Bly-Wills. How could somebody be watching TV and sleeping same time? And playing games. They're very busy. How could somebody just come from the front door, since the back door's locked, sneak down to the basement, take Summer Moon to Wells, come up the steps without the boys noticing? Not 1 boy, not 2 boys, we're talking about 3 boys. That proves, and I'm debunking the abduction theory. Candus herself has said that Summer would just run from her property to the swing to the trailer, to her grandmother's trailer. She didn't say that she would need to ask me permission to do that. No. She said Summer would run to a swing, play in a swing, go to her grandmother's trailer, and then come back. Why all of a sudden, specifically on the day that Summer's going to be abducted, Summer comes and asks, Mommy, can I go down and play with my toys? Candus, stop acting like a responsible parent. Because if you were, I'm sorry to say this is the truth, you would have tried and at least stayed sober for your interviews. You sedated yourself on purpose so that nobody would ask you too many questions. You have been changing the narratives and the stories from day one. So has Dawn. We have enough history of domestic violence, serious domestic violence going on with Candus and Dawn. In October and November, they used to come to YouTube, and in December and January with bull's eyes, with purple marks on their face. With all that domestic violence, with all that drinking, allegedly Candus drinks every night at 5:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the afternoon, till Dawn said she passes off with a spliff in her hand. So even if our abduction really happened, God forbid, they should be arrested for child negligence, child endangerment. No wonder Allyson's mother, Shelley, told us that these people were feeding the children with drugs and alcohol. I thought that time, and many of us thought it was a bit out of reach, that these 2 families are trying to sell each other out, but no. Now we hear from Jody Sue Brown that there was drugs and alcohol and the children were being sedated and, trigger warning, molested. if these people were violent towards the children, I wonder if they hit Summer too hard and she fell and hit herself on the rock or something. It's possible. We are talking about people who never, hardly ever have we seen them sober. Candus is lying when she said the day with Hunter. Now, no, he was drinking the twisted tea. I don't drink when I drive. I've seen pictures, and we all have seen pictures of Candus in TikTok and Facebook, drunk, high, and driving. With Summer in the car. Let me correct myself. With Summer in the car. What makes us believe that that specific day, Candus decided to stay sober, but gave the 14-year-old boy alcohol and drugs? That's another important part of mental health. Hunter. He's 14 years old at that time. He's 14 and a half. He suffers of impulsive ADHD. He's on medication. He goes to therapy according to his mother. And we could see the pictures of the TikTok that Hunter was splashing water on Summer, and Candus said she told him to stop because Summer doesn't like it. Did the rough playing go on too long that an accident actually occurred with Hunter and Summer? I don't ever rule that out, because you can imagine a 14-year-old boy who has impulsive ADHD, who's on medication, said himself clearly in the interview that he had no sleep that day. So you can imagine what is happening in his brains. Having ADHD does give you a difficult time to concentrate, or your thought process wouldn't be the clearest. That young boy needed supervision, but this evil woman was offering him alcohol, beverage, vaping, and more sicker things. Another thing that I did not like is when Hunter was asked by Chris, "What were you and Summer watching in the car?" He said, "I can't remember. We were streaming YouTube." But what were you watching? If you are entertaining a 5-year-old girl while the adults have gone inside the supermarket to do shopping, and if you put on YouTube or something, you would remember what Summer really likes and what you were watching. All these people are involved. And I won't be surprised if Hunter's innocent and they were using him as an alibi. They were even trying to use the church as an alibi so that they would look like decent people who can't be involved in foul play. Because Donnie used to always say, "Oh, we only hang around with good Christian people," and I think he was talking about Andy and Jody Sue Brown. The good, decent people, Fred Hill and all. I believe the church was the alibi they were using. I won't be surprised, God forbid, if the church is involved. And the reason that I say that is, isn't it strange that they called David Dobson and Robin Lane? Were they trying to use them as an alibi? And then you see Summer dancing in front of that red tin, what's it called? Wasn't a bucket, but whatever, a container. And it was written for sale. I've heard many people saying that, "Oh no, that isn't a big deal." No. It just looks a bit fishy there. Because the way Summer was dancing, you could see she was being told to dance in a certain pattern. And Another thing that I noticed about that for sale written on the container and Summer dancing. Guys, haven't you noticed Summer doesn't usually wear dresses? She's like a tomboy. Forget about the red dress, the beautiful red dress, because that was Christmas. But besides that, Summer's always wearing short pants. They put a dress on her, a frilly dress, and then they were telling Summer, somebody was telling her from behind the scene, jump, run, come back, and she's dancing in the rain. Now, which normal parent will encourage their 5-year-old child to dance in the rain and they take pictures while it's raining? I don't believe that is normal. I would never have let my daughter or my sons dance in the rain because I know they could catch a cold, they could catch pneumonia, and it's a hot summer day. So when it's raining and then the sun comes up or whatsoever, the child can easily catch pneumonia. So I wonder, the sign for sale, was it a sign for human trafficking? Were these lousy, filthy parents, I hate to say that, were they selling Summer or renting out Summer? It's very strange that she was dancing right in front of for sale. Then you come to that nasty basements of them that had silver foil papers covering the window. That wasn't right, Cheetah. I'm being honest today. Something was going on there. These people are either renting out Summer or selling out Summer, and something went wrong. Or an accident happened. It was pre-planned, or it was foul play, or they're covering up something which makes it a foul play. I want to know where Robin Lane got this message from. She said the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the TBI, told her that the red Toyota Tacoma is ruled out. If you go to the website this minute, you will see it's not ruled out. So what is Robin's purpose? To lie or to be misinformed? And when you analyze someone's behavior, obviously some people have certain ways when they're panicking or when it's uncomfortable questions. And I can see Robin is just a person who's very smiley and very happy, but her giggle is a bit too much here. Isn't it strange that when Hunter was doing his interview, he was just yawning? And many people are saying, oh yeah, that's with the ADHD. No, I'm telling you, I can debunk that out clearly. I work with many people with different mental health illness. ADHD is one of the most ones that we work with students and younger children. Some of them are on heavy medication. You don't see them yawning like that. He was over yawning, if that word exists. And Robin is just over giggling. There's over yawning from Robin, no, from Hunter, over giggling from Robin. You have mumbling and over mumbling from Jody Sue Brown. You have Dawn talking in past tense and keeping on apologizing and then doing it again and again, because they all are up to something. You have Allyson coaching Hunter, telling him to say that he was in the park at 1 hour and 34 minutes in the interview,